Hey everybody, it's Waffle Rush. Today we're breaking down one of the most talked about moments from Worlds 2025, KT and T1's final match, specifically focusing on KT Peter's performance as Nautilus. We're going to look at what happened, why it happened, and how a few key decisions from KT Peter completely shifted the outcome of the series. Before we start, I would like to make something very clear. Worlds is incredibly stressful, and there's an enormous amount of pressure on these players. However, when the pressure is too much, we see the most bizarre, game-changing mistakes. Let's get into the analysis and see how this game slipped away. First off, we have the team fight at Otacon. T1's full team is already on site, taking the objective, while KT's team is scrambling to arrive just as Otacon is reaching 3,500 health. Doran is working as a distraction in the bot lane, and Cuz is nowhere near the scene on time to attempt to steal this crucial objective. Now, the number one issue I have before the calamity that is about to unfold is this hook attempt against Doran. If he had continued on his path here, he would have actually just walked up to Doran and attempted a much closer hook with a lower likelihood of it missing. However, since he did miss it, he is now forced to make a move on Otacon to engage for his team before his Q is ready again. He had the right idea with his engage here. Flash ult, and hit the largest chunk of enemies at the present time to maximize both the CC opportunity as well as for his ultimate damage to potentially steal the objective. As we see here, it unfortunately didn't work out as he hoped, and now Gumayushi is free to cast his ultimate with no threat of interruption. Here's where it really went wrong.
Peter coming in for the lockup, but Owner manages to get the objective, the fight coming out. Fire rained over the wall by Gumayushi, and down goes Peter. BDD finally arrived. That's the ulti coming in.
Did you by chance see what went wrong? KT Peter walked around in a circle to catch every possible wave of the MF ult that Gumayushi so charitably provided, like he was bathing in a lead shower. Peter needlessly died in an absolutely crucial moment that his team could have used him for to salvage the missed opportunity that was Otacon. As an Nautilus main myself, I asked myself two questions before I cast my ultimate in a team fight. Who is their most dangerous player right now, and do they have ult? As it stands in this moment, Misfortune is that particular target. When Peter flashed for Otacon, he actually should have cast his E instead, since Nautilus's E has bonus damage against jungle monsters. The damage difference wouldn't have been too much larger, but potentially enough to steal over the ultimate damage. Now that Misfortune knows Nautilus doesn't have a way to interrupt her, the bullets begin to fly and Peter takes every single hit. The next big staple fight of the game happens while contesting for the 5th dragon. You're going to see some similarities and mistakes here from the previous play we just analyzed. Peter is zoning off Keria in the bush to prevent him from making a hard engage on his team. However, Doran makes a move as the bait to start a fight and succeeds in his endeavors, forcing Peter to turn and peel for his damage dealers, Smolder and Ziggs. Once again, Peter wastes his ultimate along with his Q to combo CC the bait engage and completely misses the fact that Gumayushi is yet again able to cast ult. The worst part of this play is the fact that he's standing just 5 feet away from Misfortune this whole time. Like, buddy, you have Sejuani and Yorick to help you peel. Gumayushi takes full advantage of this and strikes while the iron's hot, unleashing that sweet, sweet bullet time again. I would like to point out that Keria very clearly has a much better understanding of who to target during this engage and when, as he drops a solar flare on both BDD and Peter, giving Gumayushi a free double kill. My first reaction wouldn't be to ult the Camille engage. I would have done some combination of a passive auto and Q and prep myself to interrupt the Misfortune ultimate with my R and begun to engage Misfortune afterwards. This would have forced Faker to defend his ADC while the rest of the team had a better opportunity fighting a 4v3. And of course, this brings us to our grand finale, the mother of all mistakes Peter made. This fight for Baron, albeit with a low chance of success based on gold advantage alone, could have actually turned out well for KT if Peter had acted in defense of Cuz getting caught by Owner and Keria. While Faker is in a great place to ambush Deoctum if Peter did pursue a counter-engage opportunity, Ziggs has a great disengage with his W knockback both for himself and for a potential attacker. I can partially understand his inaction with being on the defense for Deoctum, but in the reality, his failure to go in is the reason his team became separated here. Being in a split position like this with the wrong comp can lead to devastating results as we witness. If Peter had queued in on either carry or owner during the initial engage, he could have forced the attention on the defensive Gumayushi, who likely would receive a hard CC defensive response from Cario with a Solar Flare, giving his ADC and mid laner the opportunity to fight with some form of distraction. Unfortunately, the play we see happening here with no action from Peter led to the fall of his most valuable damage assets one by one, leading him to just run away helpless in a cannon event chase from Doran, who locked him down and sent him back to the lobby. I want everyone to know this. Peter is an incredible player. I've seen him pull off a lot of great plays, leading to big pushes and helping his team reach the final face-off against T1 at Worlds. This video was simply just an analysis of the final events that took place leading to the end result of KT's loss. In truth, there are a lot of culmination of events that take place both from micro and macro gameplay perspectives that not everyone can control every second of the match. That is, unless you're all part of the same hive mind. But anyways, thanks for watching, and I hope you remember to be supportive of your non-Yasuo and Yone teammates. And don't forget to subscribe.